starting 15 for the home side.
Lincoln, only 2 players remain in the starting Free Jacks pack since their loss to Miami last week, and they are Vian Conradi and team captain Joe Johnston in the back row. Otherwise, it's a new front row of Halanatai, Quatrin and Koroinduadua, Von Dadelson and Caird partner up at lock, and the return of Jed Melbourne to flanker could prove devastating for DC. 4 changes also to the back line as Cam Kelameti replaces John Poland at scrum half. LaRue Milan and Ben Lesage join forces again in the centres, and the New England fans will be pleased to see Paula Balakana return to his left wing, who currently sits 3rd on the league's top try scorers list with 9 tries and counting. New England head coach Ryan Martin is feeling quietly confident with this lineup of finishers today, including forward replacements Geiger, Larson and Fryer, while the return of Harrison Boyle and Wayne Vanderbank adds more flair to this Free Jacks backline. For the visitors, not a single change to the forward pack, who comfortably overcame Anthem away last week, as Robert Harley once again leads the team, packing down alongside his second row partner and DC's leading ball carrier Tavita Nangali. In this back row of Bavaro, Fernanda Schultz and Daniel continue to impress, particularly Corey Daniel with a player of the match performance last game versus Anthem. Only 1 change to the Old Glory backline, however, and it takes place in the centres with Nick Griggs returning to wear number 12, moving US Eagle Tommaso Boni to the replacements bench. At outside centre, former Newport Dragon Stephen Hughes continues as the team's vice-captain. And keep an eye on right wing Perry Humphreys, who also had a storming game last week. Old Glory head coach Simon Cross has bundles of talent on his bench today, including the impactful Isikeli Carver in the forwards. And DC will be boosted by the return of Ethan McVie as replacement scrum half today.
For the main course.
We love a curtain raiser, Lincoln. Bring him back, I say.
Old Glory in all white as we are underway. Top 2 teams in the East, a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference semifinal. Tackle from Jed Melvin, the flanker. Again for the Free Jacks, heavily rotated in that disappointing loss this past week at Miami. And perhaps Old Glory looking for some early glory here on the road. Eagles at the national level. But New England, when they welcome teams into their backyard, these first 20 minutes are critical in the eyes of their head coach, Ryan Martin. So far, through their first 6 home matches, they've outscored opponents 57-19 in the opening 20 minutes. They're going to take advantage of some jet-lagged foes. Melvin struggling to stay in play, able to do so. It was a fine line. See what Quatrin has in mind. An ambitious ball, they've got it. They'll keep things flowing. Nordley Calameti with the quick fingers to LaRue Milan. Wide open spaces, and it is in. Dotted down by Joe Johnston. Let's see if it stands, Mark.
Yeah, no check.
Saba.
Yes, Amanda.
Blue 8 has taken out a player and created the hole for the try scorer.
Obstruction.
Reverse your try.
Okay, time is off. Time is off.
So Vian Conradi will be the guilty party here.
Okay. Captain!
And this will negate the score right there.
Captain!
Oh yeah, I can't believe I didn't pick that up as clear as day, Lincoln.
We got the TMO call.
It's not a full arm penalty, so Emery will keep this in.
50-50 ball and a dangerous pursuit. Webster unable to come down safely. Cam Nordley Calameti with all but 2 men in his rearview mirror. Free Jacks looking for the early score. 5 meters out, and they are in. And this one,
view of Nordley Calameti putting on the afterburners. That was a good attempt also from Hoyland with the tackle. Emery shrugged off by the big man, Conradi, so strong.
All clear, all clear.
Off the boot of the scrum half, Buckley. Holland said to Webster, or pardon me, yes, this is Webster, the fullback. Webster sees some space and sees support. That's Paula Balakana down the far touchline. 25 meters out, but he's taken into touch. Unavailable to compete for the 80 minutes. As that ball spills loose. The bottom of the table, not at the top.
All good kickers.
This is a line drive. It had the distance, but the flags will stay down. And again, our thoughts with whoever meets Croin Dua, mano a mano. Here's a foot race. This is typically a ball dialed up for Paula Balakana, but just too ambitious. They go short. It's the right decision. Gontas brought down by Holland. Win against New England in week 5. They made 17 trips inside the 22, but only dotted it down 3 times. They're looking for their first here today. 4 meters out. A chance to pull level on the perimeter, cutting back inside, and it is down from Axel Mueller. So again, the lock, a spectator for the next 10 minutes. Sent through by Milan. Again, Reese McDonald no longer in town. That would have been a ball that he would have made you pay for waiting for it to bounce to you. As Free Jacks pushing Old Glory all the way back to that try line.
You got the ball, use it.
Jason Emery waiting for a chance to put this one out of play, and that is the end of the opening half. Mark Serbina. A conference semifinal against Old Glory here last year to end Old Glory's season.
Good contest.
Something they've done the last 2 years. That was a fair contest for the ball. This is not a fair race, though. Paula Balakana leaving everybody in his dust. What a start to the second half.
Thanks to this courageous take of Brock Webster. Look at that, didn't take his eye off the ball. Then the clean out from Johnston freed up the ball for Kelameti, and off to the races was Balakana. A little in and away, too much for Hoyland. And Hoyland might have been able to reel him in.
Little dummy from Farnana Schultz, the Eagle.
Advantage.
Now playing advantage. Old Glory, can they capitalize out on the perimeter? This is where they take the gamble. They'll get the ball back.
Precious time.
Yeah, playing down a man. They're minus 5 points. They can pull 3 right here back in the second half.
Right kick.
Flags are up. They're back within 2. He's dotted it down 3 times as well if he were to come in as your reserve hooker. And surely there's a knock on there. There is, and they'll let them play advantage. And one of the big bodies put a boot through this one. They'll say advantage over. Balakana, your try scorer here in the second half. That one out of play. Back over to Old Glory. Any points from this visit down in New England territory will lead to an advantage for the first time. Not to be confused with playing advantage, which they have the luxury to do right here. Iscaro. Emery. Just great chemistry on display. Off the shoelaces, scooped up by Corey Daniel. And there's the first lead on the road here today.
Again, the support play from the scrum half. Just knows where to be. Buckley to get the last pass and score the tries.
Back to the Fijian prop. Melvin survives a couple of tackles inside the 5. This one poached as Axel Mueller that time. All 10 digits wrapping around that ball. Old Glory, Chicago would like to have something to say about New England simply getting out of the East for a 3rd straight year. Norley Kelameti waits for the last second. That one caught around the ankles by the room. A long kick to the line from Melvin.
Hoyland putting the pressure on, which you're allowed to do. Nauru Milan again. Just
try score differential. We are level on the scoreboard, 17-17. This one gift dropped for New England. 1 man to beat on the perimeter, Nauru Milan, but back over to Damian Hoyland and Old Glory. Callie Martinez, one of the first subs today for Old Glory.
Blue offside, number 6.
Possible advantage to be played here. And there is, in fact, advantage confirmed after an offside call on New England. Carry from Nangali. Ball spills loose, but backwards. Still playing advantage. And knock on there on New England, and they may have a couple of options to choose from. That was literally at the death of the match. We've still got plenty of time. But Old Glory has their second lead of the second half. This time playing full. Toss into Bavaro. Old Glory up by 3. Still looking for that third try. The carry here from Rizzo. First time for either team. A conservative line out. Maul is formed, and it is already driving. It's likely better than the snail's pace, but they're organized. Gatos. A meter out, playing advantage. Another miscue from New England. Will it prove costly? They're still short of that line. McVie calling out instructions. 2 tries and 2 successful penalty kicks so far today for Old Glory. Looking to dot it down for a third time. Gatos, all the space you would think he needs. He's to the line. No grounding just yet, and he's held up by New England.
I can't believe what I just saw. And let's see who was under it. I think.
Well, it's LaRue Milan who was among those, and it was Milan who I thought prematurely pinched in to give Gatos all their season clash here in Quincy. Only blemish sandwiched in between their postseason loss in the semifinals last year. Old Glory holding their ground, making it tough sledding for Oscar Lennon and company. Webster. Opportunity to eat up some meters there from Larson. Still work to be done. Ball kicked through. Is there more Palabalicana magic? Out of play, awful Glory, and there's your final whistle. Old Glory comes to Quincy and sweeps the regular season series in a battle of the red, white, and blue.